WRSA once again surpassed all expectations and hosted a fantastic conference and exhibition weekend. The theme of this year's conference was Focus on Your Game. Friday's conference kicked off with a range of interesting topics, important announcements, as well as an exhibition.
Our WRSA President, Dr. Obram, to just inform you all, yesterday at a President's Council meeting, we have confirmed that Dr. Obram will be the President for the remainder of this term, in other words, until March next year. Our Deputy President, Tiboko Mukashwa.
On strategic focus areas for our organization this year.
The past year has seen our country experiencing the worst drought in more than 100 years. And although many areas have experienced amazing relief, there are still others that are still experiencing this terrible drought. The result of the drought has seen many wildlife and commercial farmers dig deep into their reserve just to survive. Although many of our properties have recovered, the deep scar left from the drought will take time to heal. In many instances, this could be only a few months, but with others it will be several years. I can tell you from experience that it will take longer to recover than you anticipated.
In terms of whether we are facing a bubble or not.
Now, if you look around in this room and look at the people that's here, I don't think you will waste your time and your money within a bubble, and if you think the risk is so high. Yes, it is difficult times, and the whole economy, locally and globally, will challenge us to think a bit out of the box. And I think the only thing that will happen is that we will realize that breeding is just a part of this whole industry.
People refer to the game industry and the wildlife ranching industry as a bubble based on a species or on a color variant, and that only represented 12% of the total turnover which we did on all our auctions.
So we're talking to Louis Bester from Wildswinkel. This morning we had a panel discussion at the WRSA conference regarding wildlife ranching, is it a bubble? So it's the big question on everyone's lips. Louis, please tell us, how was the overall feel? Was there a negative, positive feel from the audience?
I think it's important to, I think the audience was positive firstly, but I think it's important to understand the bigger context of the game industry and specifically the wildlife sales on which we focus, and that's what we do as Wildswinkel. So firstly, in 2016, we did 16 auctions in total income or total sales value of 1.19 billion rand. And we registered 4,500 buyers on those 16 auctions. So when we refer to a bubble, people always, and the press always refers to color variance and say it's a bubble, or the game industry is a bubble because of the color variance. And I think it's important to understand the context of what color variance in the bigger picture constitutes of the bigger industry. So on the 1.19 billion rand in turnover, 12% of that was reflected through color variance. So the color variance section of the game industry is actually a lot smaller than what people think. And if one share on the JSE drops to a certain level, it's not a question of there's a bubble in the JSE. It's one share in the total of the JSE that dropped. And that's specifically what happened. Yes, and color variance prices did come down. But that's important that farmers diversify between species, and our different shares in our industry are different species of animals. And I think it's important that farmers understand that and diversify their portfolios and invest in various other species, i.e. on the 1.19 billion rand, 590 million rand of that was buffalo. So buffalo is a very sound investment. The prices has been maintained for many years. There's an underlying value being the hunting value, and that's important that you diversify. And the same for sable. Sable constituted 200 million rand of that 1.19, sorry. And once again, there's a hunting value, and the same applies to rowan. So it's important for us as game farmers to now create a hunting value for these color variants, although it's a smaller section of our industry. But we need to market ourselves. And it's wonderful to report that this year alone, I know of 16 golden wildebeest bulls which has been sold to the hunting market and has been successfully hunted at very good prices. And that's something which we can build on.
So Alfred, tell us, the conference this year, how do you feel about it? Do you have some questions, and have they been answered?
I think it's a great opportunity to be here. For me, as a wildlife veterinarian, is to create networks with my clients to understand the issues that affect them. So really it's a great opportunity to be here, to engage with them, to create a greater network for myself and for the practice that I'm running.
In relation to your questions with regard to the the question that what interest did I have or what did I get from the conference is with regard, I'm going to repeat it again, with regard to hunting. Black people are not focused on hunting, and that's why. That's what I got, that I was interested when the Stephen Palos of CHASA was presenting. I was interested, and I even spoke to him after the conference, and I'm still going to proceed speaking to him to bring in black young people into the hunting industry.
It wasn't all work. There was time for play and networking at the masked ball themed gala dinner and awards ceremony Saturday evening at the Protea Hotel Ranch Resort in Polokwane.
With nutritionally inadequate diets.
The 30 nominees for 2016 from all over Southern Africa was given certificates of recognition. Then it was time to announce the category winners.
And the deserving winners are Annette and Alex Olofse of Mount Echo, This enterprise runs successful hunting, ecotourism and breeding operations. And the winner is Piet Oosthuizen of De Beers. And the winner is Tony and Richard Morton of Tembani.
And finally, Wildlife Rancher of the Year for 2016 was announced.
Tony and Richard Morton, Tembani.
Firstly, I want to thank Wildlife Ranching. It's a very prestigious award. Game Rancher of the Year, you need to excel in all the aspects that they judge for, which is social responsibility, green economy, biodiversity, as well as game breeding. And Tembani is a well-rounded company that is involved in all aspects of game ranching. And I think this is the reason why we have managed to achieve winning Game Rancher of the Year in a very competitive environment with fantastic nominees, with 13 nominees for the year.
Verona 2016 was verskriklik moeilik geweest en ons het na ons konferensie toe gekom en ons het vanaand afgesluit met ons gala diner en julle kan hoor en julle kan sien dat hierdie vibe tussen ons lede en tussen ons besoekers is net ongelooflik. Weet jy, net die hande vat en by mekaar wees en die tyd saam geniet vir dit wat alles voorlê vir ons. As dit is hoe die Wildboer se jaar gaan afskop hierdie jaar, kan ons baie opgewonde wees.